Hi, and welcome to the Crit Hit Wild podcast, where we cover all things Marvel Crisis Protocol, and we do a new character every week. This week, we're going to be talking about Hawkeye, and I'm your host, Fred.
I'm Brad.
I'm Steven.
Chance and I are debating who goes first. I'm Tom.
And I'm Chance.
Hello, guys.
Courteous.
How's it going? How's it going, Tom?
Oh, just Ducky.
That's good. How about you, Chance? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It was a little wet down here a while ago, but everything's finally cleared up.
Down here.
Yeah,
You're the most north of all of us.
I don't know, man. Directions are fake.
Steven, how are you doing today?
Fine. Down in South Carolina, as usual now.
Yeah.
And that is
And-
accurate cardinally to be.
Listen. It's all perspective.
How about you, Brad? How are you doing?
I'm tired.
I'm with you. We have both Chance and Tom, and they are on here today to talk about their experience at Squad Goals, because they participated and they did quite well. But before we talk about that, I think we should talk about upcoming events in the near future. So coming up on June the 20th, there's a tournament at Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston, West Virginia. That is our local game store, and this is an Appalachian Cup qualifier. So I expect most people to be here. I want as many people as possible. I don't know how many are signed up, Brad, but
14.
oh, we can do better than that, everyone. Come on down. All right, that is on the 20th. Then coming up on the 27th, there is a tournament at Fabricators Forge in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is going to be an affiliation match. So all of the models in your roster need to be of a specific affiliation. That is, I like it when they give a restriction. It's fun to build a roster with restrictions. That's what I've found so far.
People in the comment section are very sad for Gladiator.
Yeah. Poor Gladiator. Poor Iron Lad? I guess Iron Lad still doesn't have an affiliation.
It's so funny. Iron Lad's probably getting an affiliation before Gladiator is.
Yep.
Is Gladiator gonna get an affiliation?
He could get.
I have to assume the Imperial Guard at some point.
Well, he could get Annihilators.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
I would have expected Annihilators to be a sub-faction of Guardians, and they're clearly just not going to do that.
Well, those are the events that are coming up in June. I do want to call out. We've been asked to call out a grand tournament in the far future in October. On October 10th, there is a tournament in Lansing, Michigan. It is an AMG Grand Tournament at AFK Games, and the person who wins this event gets an invitation to Worlds in Adepticon in 2027. So, if you are near Lansing, Michigan, head on out there and that is October 10th. So that's quite a ways away. But please head on out. They want as many people as they possibly can get.
I have warned my wife I will probably miss her birthday.
Oh no, is that October 10th?
11th.
Okay, yeah, and you'll be out there in Lansing?
Probably.
Okay. All right, well, those are the events in the near future. Have we heard any news out of AMG that rises to the level of discussion?
I do not
Terrain
think
packs.
so.
Just terrain packs.
Oh yeah, there were some train packs that leaked from some other sellers, not AMG official releases, that look cool. It's like Space Train.
Space Train?
Space Train.
Okay, I'll need to look this up.
It looked like the head of a Celestial.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. We're all just waiting with bated breath until the character changes that are in the near future in July. And we don't know specific date, just sometime in July is what they've told us. So, yeah, that's That's what we're waiting on, and we may be waiting for a couple more weeks. All right. Well, uh, I think that we should start talking about games that we've played recently. So Brad and I participated in a tournament at Harrisburg, Virginia. Steven participated in a tournament in Durham, North Carolina, and Chance and Tom participated in squad goals. So we have a lot to discuss. This is probably going to be the biggest section of our episode. Uh, I think that we should start with the earliest event, and that is squad goals. And before we get into the nitty gritty of how the games went, Tom, I'm going to ask you, what is squad goals?
Yeah, so this is the third year of Squad Goals. This is kind of I would hazard to say the premier team event in the United States at this point. Um, like there probably is not a larger one that you could participate in. Year one was in year one and two actually were in a dying mall that I think we had probably 20 to 22 teams of three in both of those. And the third one now went to a new space in Second City Games, which is like a really cool setup. It was like all these different rooms. You'd actually walk between rooms and everything and wander hallways. Um, but it's a really really cool event where you get to play against the best players in the United States running teams, but also people that are just there for the actual spirit of it. There's teams that are going all out to win, and there's teams that are going all out to make sure you know that they are having fun. And it's a great, really cool event. This is the third year that I have attended. I just realized I probably should have seen if Conan could have joined us because we are Conan and the Barbarians. And every year we have changed our third. However, I'm hoping Chance is going to be our lock from here on out because he seemed like he had a good time. Chance, I don't know if you want to talk about anything that you saw at the event or before I go on.
There's a lot of people with hot dog sunglasses.
There are a lot of people with hot dog sunglasses.
Second City Games, is this does this take place? Where did you say this took place?
So this is all outside of Chicago.
Okay, so this is the same location that they're gonna have Second Wind. Is that
Correct.
correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
So they are currently expanding that space, and I think Nate said he thinks he can get a full 64 players in terms of fitting everyone there.
Okay then. Well,
The store
But yeah.
owners were super nice. It was like some sweet couple. They're just excellent.
Yeah, they're just
Excellent space.
they were having a good time. I thought. To talk a little bit about like what the team events are. I know we've talked about it previously, but you really get to meet up with a lot of really fun players, and there's a good mix of skill levels that go even inside the individual teams because people are traveling with their friends to just kind of do this event as almost like a destination event. You really get to meet people that are just having a good time, but you still get that sweatiness in there that if you really want to push, your team gets to try to push because you're playing against some of the top players in the United States.
right. This is there's both. All groups are represented here.
100%.
They're the people who are here for fun, the people who are here to kick ass and take names.
Yep. But it's and I know Chance is gonna tag on to this. It's definitely an event where everyone's there to have a good time. The absolute best part of the event, in my opinion, is Saturday night at the hotel where everyone was chilling, and you just got to hang out with everybody from across the Marvel Crisis Protocol universe.
That sounds great. That sounds like a whole ton of fun. But with the team structure of games, is it Brad, myself, and Andrew, a friend of ours, were in a team tournament earlier this year in Pittsburgh. Is it laid out similar to that, or is it a different rule set that's followed?
Correct. So it was the 3-player Highlander characters with everything else unrestricted. So you could duplicate crises and tactic cards, but you could not duplicate characters, which seems to be like the basic thing for right now.
Okay.
And that's changed over the years. The first year was just Highlander characters. The second year was Highlander characters, Highlander crises. And this year, with the way the crisis selection process worked, they were okay with having it just be characters again. the new crises were in effect, so a lot of the games had people playing those for the first time, which was fascinating to see as you're wandering around and watching some games going on, and you're like, well, no one knows what's going on that board, but it looks fascinating.
Highlander Crisis sounds miserable. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I love Highlander Crises, but I might be in the minority. As you've said, Fred, creative constraints.
You're right. And with the way that it is now, though, are there 15 of each type of crisis? Can you even do it?
Nope.
You cannot do it.
The rules being there is once you have to take each one has to be represented at least once before you start doubling up.
Okay, that is interesting. All right.
But yeah, so like I said, this is the third year of the event. The first year that I attended, I'll just be frank with you, that was my first big event. So I was like, I don't know how I'm going to stack up to all these other players, and it was a blast. We had a great time. We managed third the first year. I was feeling very, very high when after day one, both myself and Conan were rated rank 1 and 2 for first day wins.
Oh wow!
Second year, I was confident going into it. Did way worse, but still did okay, and we again got third place. And this year, both Chance and I finished in the top 8 as we got third for a third time, which was all I really want is to do third at this event. I think it's the coolest thing ever to have a streak.
So that you get third 3 times in a row. You get the turkey third.
It's the hat trick of thirds.
It's a hat trick of thirds. You're right. Okay. Well, this sounds like a blast. Let's start talking about the games that you played. So this was a big event. How many rounds did it go?
So it was a 4-round event with a 5th bonus round. Because the way the teams worked out this year, they had to slightly cap the total team value because the event space had to change. They're still working on it. So I think we ended up with 18 teams versus the regular 20 to 22, maybe 24. I can't remember the finals. But there was a potential to have a 5th round depending on how the pair downs worked each round.
Okay.
We ended up only going 4 rounds. But at the end, we also had a bonus round because everyone had driven for a long time or flown in. So why not get to play another round?
Yeah. All right. Well, Tom, how did your first round go? What was your first round?
So I got exactly what I wanted the first round. I got to play Frelinger's team of Frelinger, Darth Vader, and Danny Modesto. If you don't know these guys, they're some of the coolest guys to hang out with and play games with. Frelinger also does custom dice, and all I really wanted out of this entire event, other than third place, is to make sure I got one of these custom dice. They're a giant, oversized one, and they're beautiful, and thank you so much. I got to pair into him, so we got to have a rematch from our last squad goals, where I played him for the first time, and he got me. And so we did Webs versus Criminal Syndicate. I was running a Criminal Syndicate Defenders duel, and I got to pull Power Overload, which over the course of the 5 games of the weekend, I played 4 times, and I won the 4 games I played Power Overload on. So, spoiler alert, it's really, really good for Kingpin. This game came down to, I score way more points than I'm supposed to, and it's over by round 3. Even though he's a great player, he wasn't aware of quite how Power Overload would score. And I think it cost him pretty early. First round, we were playing on scientific samples and Power Overload, so there's 2 bonus VPs available on the table, and I gave him both of the side extracts because I didn't care. It allowed me to take over the secures and still get the bonuses from both holding opposite secures and a single extract next to a secure. So I was rocking 2 extra VPs around, and it just closed out really fast because I was able to take advantage of that.
Man, that is just onerous. The extra points. For those of you who are listening, Power Overload is the one where it is an offset diamond where it's not quite symmetrical, and if you can control 2 secures that are not within. Is it range 3? I think it's
Range
or-
5.
range 5, who are not within range 5 of each other, you get an extra point. And it's tricky to do that because that means you can't do the 2 that are on your side. You have to do one of the ones on your side and one of the ones on your opponent's side. But if you can pull it off, which Kingpin is absolutely good at doing, you get an extra point, which is huge.
Yep, and again, strategy wise, Frelinger is a great webs player. He was not expecting how fast the those accumulated bonus points between both the extract and the secure would add up. Particularly when I just said, sure, you can go to the exterior extract points because it's going to allow me to continually win the secures and have enough flexibility to rotate that if I ever take one of the other extracts, you're so far behind at that point. It was just mathematically too difficult for him to come back.
Wow. Okay. So this sounds like this went very well for you.
It did.
All right. Well, congratulations on your round 1 victory, Tom. Chance, I'm throwing it over to you. What was your first round like on squad goals?
Yeah. So round 1, I got paired into Danny Modesto, who I know as a really good player. I think he won 2 squad goals. Not squad goals. Second wins back. Was it second? No, Carlcon. Jesus. But I know he's good. So I was like sweating to.
Didn't he also
to
get? He got like second place at one of those with a Cyclops list, right?
Yeah, Carlcon. He went 5-1.
Yeah.
He's the one who did that recently. So I was like, oh, great, first round. But he's been testing Asgard recently, so I played into them. When we flipped our cards, we ended up getting paired into Assault Ships and Sentinel Schematics, which felt pretty good for me. I don't know how other lists feel about their 16, but I think at least Wakanda has one of the better 16s, just like the core 3 of M'Baku, Okoye, King T, plus Red Skull 2 is an insane 16. Especially playing on Temu Hammers. It started. I had a lot of things end up going my way. Round 1, he walked up Loki 2 to his back source, picked up the hammer or thing. I then walked up Red Skull 2, threw a pot shot at him, and managed to get the push off, displacing Loki, so he'd have to walk round 2. There was a couple of unfortunate Sif swings on Danny's end trying to get purchase, and Danny's squad was Loki 2, Sif, Bill, and Iron Fist. I think that's it. Yeah. And Iron Fist spent most of his time on back points hanging out. And Sif was really his primary beater, and she just couldn't get going. At one point, we ended up trading Odin's Blessing for Wakanda Forever, which felt pretty good. It was just a clean game of Marvel. Assault Ships is such an aggressive map with how like the rerolls work. You can force 16 threat. I feel really comfortable doing that one. It's also scary to push into Wakanda because you have to worry about not being able to double tap any of the models. Putting any sort of damage on M'Baku is always scary because you don't want him to actually spender you or do anything like that. And Red Skull 2 is just, his grunts are a problem.
Red Skull 2 is just nuts.
He is. He's pretty good. Being pseudo 5 wide, but counting as 4 felt pretty good.
and you pulled out a win in this game, it sounds like.
Yes, yeah. I had a couple of rounds go my way. So like this, Ed, round 2 or 3, I start with King T, who does a random spear shot into Sif, rolls 6 damage. He Odin's Blessing it. And then I throw Wakanda Forever at it and get her anyways. Which lets me take that source and then pull a victory point lead ahead in round 3. And then so round 2, round 4, he has to start coming into me to claw back advantage. And then at one point, I get to activate, or he activates with priority, fails to kill Red Skull. Or no, I think I might have had priority. Priority picks up, Red Skull picks up one of the Temu hammers and just double taps into Loki and takes him off the table before he gets to go.
All right, wow. Well, congratulations on that victory. That is an aggressive combo. I don't particularly care for. I hated hammers, and I hate the Sentinel schematics. Like I just don't want my opponents to hit hard. even though it benefits me probably more to be able to hit hard, it just makes me nervous letting my opponents have that advantage.
It's scary.
Yep.
I was going to
Yeah.
note, I believe Danny goes over your game in the last episode of Move, Move, Throw as well.
And move, throw. I like that as the name of a show. It's a good tactic. All right, well, that's round 1 of squad goals. Tom, how did your second round go in squad
Well, real
goals?
quick, so Conan also won his game, so we actually had a good sweep that round. And those guys actually, I think, ended 3-1, so like they won all their next rounds because they're a great team. Second round, we so in at squad goals, like I said, you're playing against some of the top players, big names on the forums and in our podcast community. We get paired into a team that over the last 2 years we had not encountered yet. It's Conan the Barbarians. Is we actually hit Grip It and Rip It, which is DeLuca, Deaton, and Sooner. And that is a scary team to pair into. So I ended up paired into Sooner, who was playing. He ended up playing First Avenger Steve with King T, Sam, Gambit, and somebody else probably. But we end up on lockdown, and I think I made a pretty big mistake here. I probably should have tried to outfight that list and run defenders. But truth be told, I am really more of a criminal player than I am a defender player, and so I thought I could still kind of pull it out. So I roll with a Bill, Mind Dragon, Ironmonger, Black Cat, no Echo, and Kingpin list. Um, and ultimately, we're jockeying for position. It's difficult to advance into the list the Sooners playing because if you overextend at all, you're running into King T under First Avenger, who just has a huge threat range, and he's pulling you into a reserve member's gambit. So the first round, I'm trying to play a little cagey, but I do overextend with Mind Dragon, and Sam ends up putting 3 damage on her round 1. Which makes it so I have to play a lot cagier with her because she is not tanky outside of her martial artist range. So we're kind of jockeying back and forth for position. I'm trying to mitigate giving King T enough power so he can leap and get double tap by using build to like move up, throw him medium, go back to my point. But as the game progresses and I think he's got like a 1-point lead, I do have to move up eventually. So my Ironmonger ends up moving up to contest his back point that Echo has already gone onto. And at this point, he's like, all right, Gambit will attack Ironmonger on the building. And he rolls his dice and he goes, oh, convert that. That's 5 wilds for 10 damage. And he just one-shots my Ironmonger before he activates. And I go, huh, well, that's not good. And honestly, being down that activation for that round means he's got 2 more activations to move on to points, and he just scores, I think, 7 points that round because I have nothing left to contest. And I try to crawl back. I get like 5 points the next round or 4 points, but at that point, it was too big of a swing. But we had a good time. I mean, Suna's a great opponent.
Yeah, I gotta say, Gambit under First Avenger is such a it's almost a slot machine where if it rolls pretty okay, if you get multiple wiles in the roll, it's an insane roll. The damage output is some of the best in the game because you can just convert it into multiple extra wilds, and he counts wilds as 2 hits. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I continue to think that the best list into criminals is an Avengers list. Their models tend to just have a lot of displacement naturally, and their damage output is really good. So it's an uphill battle. I really should have tried the Defenders list, but I think I was too afraid of taking too many Sam displacements that it would have made it so that Blue Marvel and Doctor Strange would have struggled. But looking back, I think I should have done that instead.
Okay, yeah. All right, well, I'm sorry to hear that it went that way for you in round 2. Chance, how did your second round go?
Yeah, so second round, I get paired into Deaton, who is, from what I understand, where this Defender's nonsense originated from.
Jeez.
So I paired into I don't know what his duel was, but I think all of the Defenders players are running a duel in their roster.
I think it was Steve 1 or Sam. I can't remember which.
Okay. So that we flip Lockdown and Inhumans deploy advanced weaponry. And
he must have been Steve 1 because Sam was in Sooner's list.
Yeah, that would make sense. So we play 18 threat, and I had a last minute addition to my list. I was running Storm for a little while because I was scared of Shuri just being a 5 health model with victim stats, but last minute I tossed her back in just for situations like this. So at 18 threat, I chose to go King T, Okoye, Shuri, Luke Cage, and Red Skull 2, leaving M'Baku at home and playing King T leadership because M'Baku really hates seeing both Blue Marvel and Doctor Strange. He's not going to do anything to either one of them, and Blue Marvel is going to turn him into a fine red mist very quickly. Yeah. Even if Strange can't pull him, it's not really worth trying. So my whole game plan going into this was just to eke out incremental advantages on scoring and control Blue Marvel and Strange, or one of them with Shuri. Shuri has a really interesting matchup into both of them, mostly because she guaranteed pushes them. It doesn't matter how well they roll, they're getting pushed. And under King T leadership, even with the defensive tech, odds are if Shuri dedicated tabs to Blue Marvel, she's going to do 2 to 3 damage to him, which is not nothing, but it eventually added up over the course of the game. So round 1, I don't have priority, which means I get to go last with Shuri, which is a big deal. She's just following Blue Marvel around, and I'm just trying to displace him round 1 because I know round 2 the portals are coming down, and if Blue Marvel and Strange are on the portal round 2, it's going to suck. Round 1, she walks up, she shoots Blue Marvel, and it looks like I might not even be able to push him because of the terrain, but we can't measure because that's how the game is ruled. So instead of even bothering to risk that he's not backstopped, he just plays Indomitable. Is it Indomitable? He plays Indom off rip turn 1. So he's not off the portal, but I do get that card out of the way. And the big thing with Shuri being range 5 is it means unless they're using the portal, they cannot interact with Shuri in a profitable way. They have to move first. And that ends up being nice. I think Deaton mentioned it at the end of the game, but top of 2, portals comes down, and on lockdown, he chooses to use the portal to go from his back portal to his other back portal, and he said after the game he would have preferred if he had set it up to use it to cross the gap, because now my entire backfield is kind of safe because he can't move there without action compression. Which meant Shuri was safe until she went to expose herself. And over the course of the game, I'm just trying to get these incremental advantages, just keeping 2 extracts, 2 points, because eventually I'm going to go for a swing turn with Wakanda Forever and all the push pools. I'm just waiting for certain things to go my way. And the other thing into the Doctor Strange list is you can fight some of the team members. Like he had Echo as one of them. You can punch through her. The big thing with that list is just making sure that you spread damage out. You can't dump it all onto one guy over a course of turns because Doctor Strange will just fix it. So the King T leadership is pretty good at doing that. Even if I whiffed, I'd put a damage onto Shang-Chi with a pull here, 2 damage onto Blue Marvel with a Shuri push there. And eventually, the game ended up being, it looked like we could either go into a round 5 or it would end right there at round 4 with Luke Cage throwing a spender into Blue Marvel, doing 1 damage with the attack and 1 damage with the throw if he gets the trigger. And then I get to pick up and walk to objectives and score out that round. And off naked dice, he does it. He plays Recal. We go through, and I still have the wild and end up pushing 1 damage through, which ends up letting me score out there in that round. But without Shuri kind of making Blue Marvel and Doctor Strange just sad and have to walk more than they would like, it would have been much more of an uphill battle. Like, I don't think I could play M'Baku leadership into that roster and win. It just probably doesn't happen without me being cosmically lucky.
This is wild to hear you playing King T's leadership. I'll be honest. I might be wrong.
It started more so as a fact of like, well, I don't want to play M'Baku. He is going to die. I'm already going to play a Wakanda. I might as well have a leadership. And the
Right.
leadership works kind of well into them because their whole thing is based off their defense dice quality. And it's not going to light the world on fire, but I'm never going to say no to 2 or 3 points of chip over the course of a round.
Right. Yeah.
Hitting a 5 health Shang-Chi and a 4 health Shang-Chi are very, very different things.
Exactly. For those of you who are listening, King T's leadership is that if he pushes you, if a Wakanda model pushes you into
Any model.
any model pushes you into a obstruction or another character, you
Just
take
terrain.
1 damage. Oh, just terrain. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. You take 1 damage, and that chip damage will add up. That's yeah. Also, I think that we should do a quick walkthrough of what you had brought up, portals for defenders.
Yes.
That is an important tactic that's coming up a lot with defenders players.
Sure.
There is a tactics card, the portals of Farala?
Pentagrams of Farala.
Pentagrams of Farala.
Pentagrams of Farala or Farala.
Follow
where-
la, Fred.
Where the defender can the defender model can, it might be any model.
It's Doctor Strange or Wong. They spend 3 power in the power phase, and they place 1 token within range 1 of them, and then 1 token within 5 of that token. And then for the rest of the game, it's not even that round. Any model can pay 1 power once per turn to teleport to another Pentagrams token.
Yep. And what it means,
this card at various times during the meta of MCP has been used to break things. And the current way it breaks things is by giving action compression to models that are balanced around not having action compression. Basically giving Blue Marvel a charge, or Doctor Strange the ability to reposition. It allows them to win flanks very well. Like, they can just put so much pressure on individual areas and then reposition back into safety zones, because you don't drop an extract or anything when you go through these things like you would for like old intrusions or something like that. It's just there forever. And with
Yep,
Blue Marvel having a ridiculous spender with an area attack, it gets even worse.
yeah, it is a lot of movement shenanigans that's present for the rest of the game for not that much of an investment. So it is a huge advantage. And yeah, so that will come up a lot, I think. All right, well, I'm glad that you won your second round, Chance. How did Conan do in round 2?
So Conan got paired into Mike DeLuca. Conan's playing Steve 1 Avengers, and a lot of Conan's list is built around the idea that he could run a Cable, Steve, Jane, Hulk at high values, or like Shang or something, where he has a ton of options to increase defensive dice and just win the attrition game. He ran into Mike's Guardians of the Galaxy under Adam, and I look over and I'm like, sweet, I see what's going on. Hopefully Conan chooses Hulk. Conan did not choose Hulk. And I think that was the big mistake he made that game. Without the ability to displace Adam Warlock consistently, it's so hard to grind out against that list. Talking to Conan after the game, I believe he said he had like a bunch. I think he had almost all of his models on the table, or like at least 3 of them. They might have been flipped or whatever, versus a full health Adam, and Mike was just able to score out on points.
Like, that was the only model that he had left, was a full health Adam?
I believe so. I mean, it was one of those things where every time I looked over there, things were going poorly. But Conan was fighting through, and then Adam would just do something. And I'd look down and go, oh, that guy got thrown away medium by a spender? Well, that can't be good.
Well, it happens. I'm sorry to hear that. So does that mean you guys went 1 and 2 in this round?
Correct.
Okay.
But hey, no shame in losing to those guys. I mean, that's, cream of the crop.
Right. They're some of the best of the best. All right, so round 3. Tom, how did your round 3 go?
That's a great question. Round 3, I think we played into
the Mercenaries.
I was going to say the Mercenary Rigger team. I got paired into Guardians because really no one on our team wants to play against Guardians, but it's okay-ish for me. if I get my secures. Um, and I can kind of fight against it because I do have a defender's flex. Uh, our game really boiled down to, hey, I got power overload again. Hey, I score out fast. The end.
Right. Yeah. You're the criminal syndicate. This is what you do.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Did you win on round 3? Is this a
Yeah.
case where you won on? Yeah. Okay.
I won every game on round 3 except for the game I lost against Sooner.
Okay. Yep. I've played enough into Kingpin to know that that's the plan. If it goes longer than 3 rounds, then you're in trouble. All right. Chance, how did your 3rd round go?
So round 3, I paired into one of the mercenaries who was he was pulled after like a year-long hiatus on the game. So he was coming back to it for the first time just to play the event for them. So I felt a little bad. We played on Skrull's Power Overload, and I ended up with 3 of the extracts on round 1, and then round 2 started removing models with King T and just scoring the bonus points. Power Overload's very fast, even with a medium speed extract. I managed to score out on round 3.
Well done.
Yeah.
And how did? Oh,
I think Chance and I started wandering the rest of the event in like, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
because you guys were done before the vast majority of the rest of the players.
Yeah, well, we both got power overload, and I think it was into 2 players that hadn't played that crisis yet because it was a newer crisis, and
Right.
because we both knew to score how fast you could score on that one, I think it just gave us a great advantage.
Yeah. All right. Well, how did Conan do in round 3?
I think he won as well. I can't remember. He was playing Ron, I believe.
Okay. Well, it sounds like a swing back round 3. How did round 4 go?
So before we get to round 4, I want to talk about Saturday night because so this is midpoint of the event. Obviously, everyone goes back home, chills, has dinner. I know we were hanging out with a bunch of the meat men. Chance got to play a bunch of Secret Hitler. I was hanging out with the pork roll guys. Big props out to the pork roll guys. They did really, really well at ACO this weekend, and it's a great group of dudes.
Okay. I love Secret Hitler and I hate Secret Hitler. Chance.
I feel so bad. Mostly because I'm an idiot. I just couldn't read people. Curtis, I had never met him before. But dude deserved an actor, like an Oscar. He had me convinced. Like to this point, I can't tell if he was lying or not when he said he's never played before. I just don't know where I am right now, as far as that game is concerned. I'm lost and confused.
A little bit of a secret here. The person who you never want to play Secret Hitler against is Brad on this call. Is
I
that
can
Brad?
see that.
What?
It's hard to read, Brad.
Is it? I would never lie.
Said like a true liar. All right. Well, let's. I want to take this back. Brad's not a liar. He's a good, moral, upstanding person who just has
Exactly.
the ability to deceive people very well.
He's an excellent actor.
Indeed.
Same reason it's hard to play against my wife. I get it.
I only use my powers for good and to laugh at people. I mean,
yeah.
it's fine.
All right. Well, let's move on to round 4. Tom, how was your round 4?
So we get paired, and I end up against a criminal cabal player who ended up running Kingpin because it's power overload. So I'm in a Kingpin mirror where he has Shang, which I don't have due to the fact that we're in a team format, and Shang normally is a really strong piece into Kingpin lists. So I'm a little nervous here. I end up bringing Bill as my 4, and then his 3. We're both running Cat. He's running Monger and Echo. I'm running Lizard and Echo. and I think Lizard was a huge benefit here. But what ends up coming up is something about Power Overload that people who have not played it yet might not know much about, and what I found to be a great asset for the type of criminals I was playing, which is if you put multiple bodies on a point, you can start doing chip damage. If you have more than 3 models contesting a point, everyone takes 1 damage. And so, what's the best way to hurt Shang? Not attacking. So I just kept putting people on his power overload until I got his like a couple points of chip damage onto him, and then I was able to go over the top with his defenses with Echo. And by doing so, it just locked down so many extra points for me because in the Kingpin versus Kingpin mirror, it's all about scoring first and fast. Once I got that activation lead, I managed to also pull the extract lead in round 3, and that locked the game out for me.
Well done, well done. You're absolutely right. Shang-Chi is the kind of model that you have to come in with a plan. He's such a problem because he's so hard to remove and he's so easy to move people. And he's if you can find a plan to deal with him, like chipping away at him with the power overload, that is how you got to do it.
Yeah, and when you're playing the type of team that either has damage reduction that you can pay for, like Kingpin and Bill, or has a healing factor character like Lizard, you're advantaged to just put another body on that point and take the hit because you can block it, and it really allows you to try to score that cross point. Because we were both Kingpin, neither of us had that advantage in the actual secure game, so it was just based on bodies. And so by manipulating that, I was able to score a couple bonus points during the game, and it just helped me lock it out.
Yep. Well done. All right. Well, Chance, how was your round 4?
Yeah, round 4, I got paired into Spider Foes player. I think they had the option to do both, but they picked Doc Ock Spider Foes into me. And we flipped Scientific Samples and Guardian Save Empress, and played 17 Threat. So I still like my 17. My 19 is my comfort pick. I'm a big fan of that, but at 17, Red Skull 2 just becomes Baron Zemo, and I have to suffer through playing Baron Zemo. Oh no,
it's rough. It's rough.
It's tough. Round 1 was a little bit of just a normal standoff. He dives my back point with his Prowler, and one of my back points with his Prowler, and tries to flip over me. And I managed to flip it back with King T. And then from that point on in the game, we were at parity, and just all hell breaks loose, and King T decides to pretty much solo the game by himself. He does that sometimes, a lot of the times, but it was like a dramatic type thing. King T was on the far back right Guardian point, and Prowler went with priority, tried to daze him. Luke bodyguarded 1 hit, and then King T ended up getting a decent bit of power. And so he runs away with the runaway part of his spender, and we go do the rest of the turn. And at the bottom of 2, I go with King T, because using Okoye's bodyguard, I had snuck priority away. King T walks across the map, bounds, hits Prowler with the spender, finishes dazing him, throws him into a building, runs back onto their back point with the movement off his spender, dazes the Toad that he had holding an extract using Wakanda Forever, picks up that extract, flips the point, and I end up scoring like the bonus point from Scientific Samples, holding 3 reds and 3 traps, and I have priority. And King T goes with priority, flips, removes a model with his spender, uses that spender movement to walk around to my back point to hit Doc Ock 2, who had overextended, and daze him, and then he bounds into position to be bodyguarded by Okoye. It's just such a crazy back-to-back activation. And from there, I managed to hunker it down and score out on round 3.
Well done. That's the magic of King T. Like King
Stupid
T is
model.
so
I
he's
love
so
him.
mobile and so able to dish out damage. It's nuts.
AMG, you didn't hear me say that. Don't touch him.
I'll point out. So both Chance and I finished this round really quickly because we just did. I had a high scoring one. King T decided to murder the entire board. Conan was paired into a Guardians player running Adam again. Two things on that. Number one, I believe his handle was the Aviator. He won, I believe, best squad for painting and everything. If you have the opportunity to go look at the pictures from the event, it is totally worth looking up his models. The squad looked amazing. It looked amazing on the table. But Conan, I think, was out for blood because he had just played into Adam versus DeLuca, and he was like, I'm sure I can kill this list, and just stopped playing the game and just started punching things because he saw both Chance and I walk away. And I'm talking about like every 20 or so minutes, Chance and I would wander back into the room to see what was going on, and like one turn had gone by, and they'd each gotten 2
They're
points.
playing something stupid like shelters and alien ships. It was like a 20 threat 6-point crisis.
Oh,
It took the entire round timer. They're just sitting there slapping each other with wet noodles.
but
Oh man,
I'm serious, every time we walked in, we'd look down and go, nobody's moved, and then we'd walk back out.
It's just so far from this. If we ignore supplies, my least favorite crises is that stupid shelters one, just because it takes so long.
It does.
Mhm. All right. Well, and did Conan end up winning?
No, I think he actually ended up losing.
No,
it.
he threw the game. He
Yeah.
tried,
Oh,
so
okay.
he could have won with a move throw.
Yep.
But he instead tried to have Hulk kill. I think Hulk needed to put 4 damage onto an incinerated Moondragon to win through punching, and he figured that would be a more bombastic way to go out, and he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And oh man, that's
He was-
unfortunate.
He was going for revenge at this point.
All right. So that was round 4. Did you want to talk about round 5?
Well,
You said it was
so-
kind of like a bonus.
Yeah, so before we get to round 5, so if the listeners have not had a chance to see it, round 4, Mike Waller is on stream versus Deaton, that Defenders list, and he plays a phenomenal game of Guardians versus Defenders. And I think in the current meta, Defenders are a severe boogeyman, and genuinely, I think it feels like the best 2 teams that can actually fight with them are Guardians and Wakanda. And he actually ends up taking that game versus Deaton as well because he's got enough maneuverability that he's able to
play
just kind of.
Nova.
Yep. And it's you have to keep pushing that defenders list off their own portals. You have to break those bunkers and make them use move actions. So it's a great game to watch if you're struggling against defenders, to see what the tools that you need to bring to the table are in order to fight that list.
All right. Well, yeah. That is. Say what that stream was called. Who was doing it?
So that is the Taco Truck guys, the guys who put on the event.
I think it's on Vince's YouTube channel.
Yeah, so Vincent Kirchhoff. And that's round 4. It's just a great game to watch. And it again, like being that defenders are the boogeymen of the meta, I think there's a couple reasons that's the case. Number 1, they're good. Number 2, they're really good. Number 3, genuinely, I think the changes AMG made to the throw damage thing put people off of displacement as much. You used to always have a lot of models who could throw size 4 terrain, which often also overlapped with character throws. That got kind of, I don't want to say pushed out of the meta, but they got forgotten by a lot of people, I feel like. And so the tools that it takes to win a displacement game are not as readily available as they were. Number 1, I think that's why, like, say, Avengers is really good into Kingpin because they bring a lot of natural displacement. I think Guardians should be looking at models like Nova that really bring that long range displacement that really helped him lock that game out.
Okay. Yeah. That is important information.
Yep. So round 4, that is the Pork Roll guys versus Grip It and Rip It. They go down 2-1. So the Grip It and Rip It team does win again. The Pork Roll guys get second. And what's cool is, because I love the Pork Roll guys, we got to play them in the bonus round, which is just fun. Right, like you're like, all right, we're gonna throw some more dice because the game's already over, but let's have another round because we're all here. And I actually get to play against Waller, who is a great player. And all I can say is my dice did war crimes. and I apologize. Like it was one of those games where like it was on power overload again, but also I was playing Blue Marvel in Kingpin, who, if you guys don't know, Blue Marvel can use the card Cruelty, getting an extra attack that is also counting skulls, and you just get so much damage done. He played a little aggressive round one and ran his Quasar in to grab one of my extracts, to which I could just walk the Blue Marvel up, attack her, get power, throw her back into something on my line, and then Echo double taps her from my starting position. It's just way too much I was able to do too fast in that game.
All right. Well, congratulations on winning the fifth round.
Yep.
Chance, how was your fifth round?
So my fifth round, I got paired into Jin, and he was running Shield. Shield is my least favorite team to play into besides Defenders. Defenders is more so just because they're not like, in my opinion, they're not doing anything interesting. They're a bunch of beefy dudes on a portal. It's whatever. But the Shield stuff is just annoying. There's so many rakes that they throw out on the ground, and I step on every single one of them. But it was a really good game. I ended up losing in the last round. My mistake, I think, so we're playing Power Overload again. Power Overload. I think it was Power Overload. I don't have this one pulled up because it's not a part of the same event. They made it a separate event on Longshanks. But it was, I want to say, Power Overload and Scientific Samples, so a very fast game. I managed to eke out advantage round one because he only put one model. He put his Namor on his natural expansion on Power Overload, and he put him a little too far forward. And King T was able to reach out and touch him with the spear, pull him off that point. So we went up. I think I went up 5-3 on round one, and I was slightly ahead on points the whole game. I made a mistake with my Red Skull. I put him a little too close to his Emma Frost, and Emma Frost in that double bubble bunker is a pain. She hurts. It's very scary. Emma Frost is one of the best models in the game right now. I have her in my list. I think she's insane.
She's great. She's amazing.
Yes. Yep. But so from there, I have a priority into round three. I have a pretty good turn. King T explodes Zemo. I score pretty well. And my mistake there is I get lucky with King T, and I blow up Zemo, and I decide to greed out for points and stay on my back point instead of rotating him to where my bunker of Cage and Aquay are. And it ends up round four. I constantly just keep playing to score out and win because I think I need 2 more points to win that round. And instead of trying to push my advantage further, I just try and score those rounds. And eventually he managed to catch up to me. Namor has a crazy turn, one shots King T with a charge, and then it just keeps going like that. And I think if I rotate King T over to the bunker, I can protect him a little bit. I get to have a more proactive turn 4 to close out the game instead of just trying to hope that something doesn't go his way and I manage to sneak 2 points out. But no, Jin's a great guy. Very, very fun game. Power Overload, I think, I don't know what it is. I think everybody, maybe it's one of those ones where everybody thinks they're good on it or something, but like Tom played it 4 times. I played it 1, 2, maybe 3. And it seems, it's very fun. It's very good, but I don't know if you should have it in your roster unless you're like a hyper scoring dependent team.
Right, unless you have a plan,
Right.
You have something specific. I currently have it in my roster, and I am debating taking it out because I don't want it to be a rake that I step on for Kingpin. Like if I'm up against a Kingpin player.
I gotta say, I think it's the best Kingpin secure out there right now.
Oh yeah, now for sure.
And I mean that's above Scoundrels.
Oh wow.
And I think there's a lot of teams that could do good on it. Like Waller has some really cool tech with Guardians on it that he was playing with and does some really cool stuff. But it's just a really rough one to beat Kingpin specifically on. And there's also the added fear that like that Crisis scores so quickly that it can get out of hand really, really quick.
Yep.
And then Conan played against Wayland. I believe it was Wayland was playing the Defenders Inhumans flex. I think he played Inhumans in that game. I'm not really sure what happened in that game. I know Conan won, but by the time my game ended really pretty fast, just because of, again, I was playing Power Overload, so we kind of walked out. And we're just chatting and walking around. So I don't know. Chance, did you see any of that game?
What, Conan's?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a series of misunfortunate events for Waylon. Everything that could have went wrong went wrong. Conan's Ronin murdered like half his squad. He just couldn't catch a break.
Oh.
All right. Well, so that was squad goals. That was the what the Chance and Tom went through in squad goals. I'm sorry, I just tripped all over myself.
He found the race.
All right.
Well,
Yeah, I did.
I was gonna say, so we've this is the third year Conan the Barbarians have gotten third place. Very proud of that. If you have the opportunity to attend the Squad Goals event, I really, really recommend it. It is the most fun I've had at MCP. I'm pretty lazy and I hate traveling for things, and I appreciate the fact that Conan dragged me out that first year, and at this point, I don't think I could not go. It is a really, really fun time, and the best part is everyone there is genuinely there to play a game and hang out and have fun. It's just a good time.
It sounds like it. It sounds like a great event.
I know, Chance, you were talking about, because you do play on TTS,
Mhm.
getting to put faces to the names and the
Oh, it
voices
was
and all that was a big deal.
I would turn every corner and it's just like, I've heard them before. I've played them before. You don't look like how I thought you looked like.
All right. Well, okay, so that was squad goals. Let's throw it over to Steven. Steven, you attended a tournament in Durham. Do you want to talk about those games?
Yeah, I'll do it real quick since time.
Sure.
But I went to Durham, North Carolina, to Atomic Empire Games. These are gentlemen I met before at the House of Cards in Winston-Salem, and we had a 3-round tournament. There are a little bit of differences in tournaments run by different people, I found out, but as is, I got 3 games in. I played a gentleman named Ben, very, very affable in the first round. We only had 10 players at this event, but he was playing a Dormammu list. I usually, when there's a new rotation of Crisis, I like to go back to my old Avengers list just to feel things out before I dip my toes into the Spider Foes. So I was running Hulkbuster, Cable, Doctor Strange without the stone, Steve 1, Spider Woman, Dr. Voodoo, Hawkeye, Magic, Captain Sam, and Iron Fist. So I had a good spread of Avengers, a couple of Brands with Magic and Doctor Strange, and I just wanted to kind of test the waters. So I was playing kind of serious, but not too serious. So went into Dormammu, and we I don't have the prices up in front of me, but I can get that in a moment. But as I go on, we were playing 18 points, 18 threat, and he ran Dormammu, Weapon X, Red Skull 2, and Nebula. I countered with Steve's leadership, running Spider Woman, Dr. Voodoo, Iron Fist, and Magic. So I made a lot of mistakes this game, and he was just running murder and death, and I got murdered and death. He tabled me.
Oh no!
Yeah, that happened around 4. Surprisingly enough, Spider Woman got into Red Skull really, really bad and took him off the table in round 2. So,
Okay.
and I had Dazed Nebula at that point in time also. And, well, let's just say, dice are a thing in this game. So I thought I had a pretty good upper hand, but he came back and just murderized me. So,
Yeah.
one thing that they did at this tournament, if you table somebody, you automatically go to 16 points as that winner. So I found that kind of strange, but it's the way they do things. So, I mean, it is what it is. So I end up losing this game 16-7, I think. 16-7, 16-6. It was pretty bad. I couldn't even tell you that we were on Inhuman Weapons, and the two secures that score 2 each. Is that Wedding Party? I forget.
Yes. Yeah, that's Wedding Party.
Okay, so but Ben was a great guy, and things didn't go my way, and that's fine. Then in my second round, I got to play Robert, who is a newer player, and it was a lot of we did use time clocks, and this game almost went to time because we were reading cards because it was like his only 10th game, and we forgot to pause the clock and all that good stuff. It was death clocks on this one, so if you timed out, you lost. Your opponent goes 16 points. It's the way they do things, but he was playing Dracula, and I went with Captain Sam list with Hulkbuster, and I believe we were playing at 20 points because I had Hawkeye and Iron Fist along with that. So that's 9, 15. No, we must have been playing at 18. It was Inhuman Weapons again that we had, and Lockdown. I honestly forget. And Magic. I was playing Magic also. So yeah, we were 18, and then the story of that game is that I got a Helios 27 dice Helios laser into Dracula on his injured side, and that was basically the game.
Holy crap!
So, and then a newer player, Mark, I played in the third round, and he's after Brad's heart because he loves mutants, and he was playing pure X-Men. His brother was also there too, Matt, and he was playing Spider-Foe, so I talked to him quite a bit. But Mark and I, we were running our list, and I went with Steve again, and this time I was running Cable and Doctor Strange together. And I forget who my last person was. Oh yeah, it was Hulkbuster. We were at 20 points. Yeah, so Hulkbuster, Cable, Doctor Strange, and Steve against Professor X and Rogue, along with Domino, Cable, and I forget the other one. Please excuse me. But Wolverine, original Wolverine. So we get into this game at 20 points, and Doctor Strange under Steve 3 is quite insane because I get to turn things to a shield, and that pierces and gives them power. And by the end of it, his cable was off the board in round 2. His Professor X was off the board in round 3. Came into round 4. Yeah. So Cable incinerating and then Doctor Strange following up is quite a thing. And then Hulkbuster was just pushing people off points, just bouncing around with hit and run. And then Bully Steve with that charge. Oh my gosh, he got into Wolverine, flipped him, got into Domino, flipped her. I mean, he was doing some work. So needless to say, that game ended up 17-11. And I had a good time. I mean, I met some newer people up there, met some people I had met before. Chris Falkenberry, otherwise known as Fiddler Jones, runs a pretty good tournament. Like I said, there were a couple of tweaks to it I wasn't used to, but that's the way they run things. I was talking to them at House of Cards before, and they are actually doing a circuit like you guys have up there for the Appalachian Cup. So that'll be quite interesting. I don't think I'll get to a bunch of them because two of them take place in Virginia, three take place in North Carolina. They're trying to get a sixth venue. So, but we'll see how that works out. But I kind of hinted, I'm like, yeah, maybe we could have a cross cup tournament, take the best 4 players from each after the finals are done and make a location and see if we can face off against each other. So,
that sounds fun.
Kind of bring the two areas together.
Yeah.
But I suggested
All right,
I suggested them to come to the Akron Brew Roll if they're going to go to any of the ones that are up in that area.
That's the one to go to. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Alrighty. Well, thank you, Stephen. I think that it's time for Brad and I to discuss our games at Parisburg. And Brad, why don't you... so let me give some information about this event. The event was run by JP, a friend of the podcast, who has not run an event before, and he did a good job of running this event. It was a relatively small event in a new space. It was at Mischief's Den in Parisburg, Virginia, and it's very convenient for JP and Brandon where they are, and it's the closest one to us that we travel to. It was only about an hour and a half for us, so it was not bad at all. So we will likely go to more events in that location. Brad, why don't you discuss your round 1?
GPS lied to us, so we got there an hour early. So we went to a local place and had a delicious breakfast. I got French toast. That was my round 1. Round 1 game. I played JP. I brought Sentinels. I do have Bastion and the Mark IV Prime in my list. I did not play the Mark IV Prime leadership all day. We ended up playing 20 threat. What did I play? I think I played the Mark IV Prime, Bastion, Nimrod. Somebody in Nebula. Oh, I played Hood. That's who I played. He was playing Asgard. He played Thor 1 leadership. Warriors 3. Some other guys I'll think of as I talk about the game real quick. The big thing is the Warriors 3 absolutely wrecked me. I think every time they attacked back, they did no less than like 4 damage. It was ridiculous, frankly. I should have patched up Bastion on turn 1, but I went into Nimrod's activation thinking about that and then failed to do it after I made my attacks and got power. So Bastion was dazed at the top of 2. I did daze but not KO the Warriors 3. Oh, he had Ironmonger. Nimrod ended up killing Ironmonger in the game. He had Loki 2. That's probably it. This was a very close game, despite the Warriors 3 going absolute ham. But I do lose 18-15.
Okay, sorry to hear that, Brad. The Warriors 3 are amazing. That's what I'll say.
I love them.
I played. Yeah, they're really quite incredible.
I did get him.
Right.
I did get to prevent him from healing them several times in the game, which was nice.
That is nice. You're using your ability for basket.
All right. Well, my round one opponent was a gentleman named Jeremy. We were playing at 19 threat on experimental soldiers and deadly meteors. Experimental soldiers is the 3 across the middle. That's not quite the same as C. They're like a little bit further in, and when you pick them up, you get to re-roll a defense dice, and then deadly meteors, which is a pay to flip. Uh, Jeremy was a good player and he was making the correct decisions, but he had mentioned to me that this was his 5th game of MCP. And so I kind of took it a little bit slow and we walked through everything. And my dice also were committing war crimes. It was getting to the point where at one point he attacked Maximus the Mad with a mystic attack, and I rolled 7 defense dice. I was 7 successes on defense, and I was feeling very bad because he was getting no successes on his attacks, and I was getting nothing but. These two together is a pretty slow combination of crises. It ends up going 5 rounds, I believe, and I win this game 17-7. A lot of that is because I brought King Black Bolt, and King Black Bolt is an amazing model. He's a house, and he will kill and move all over the place. I really love. The more I play him, the more I like King Black Bolt. All right, let's go to round 2. Brad, what was your round 2 like?
I played Justin. Justin has come up to a couple of our tournaments. Great guy, and he is playing Midnight Suns until Fantastic Four come out. We get
So he's playing Midnight Suns for
forever.
Forever.
We end up playing 17 threat, and so I have, I don't know, a Mark IV. No, I don't know. I have some stuff, and I'm 4 wide. He's 4 wide. I remember his models are Immortal Hulk, Blade, Man Thing, and Black Cat. Oh, we were pay to flip. So I played Omega Sentinel, of course, and Bastion and a Mark IV and Nimrod. That's what I played. And we set up, and he puts Black Cat in the middle, and I put Mark IV in the middle. And he ends up double moving Black Cat to take my scroll. No, my ship security. Same setup as scrolls. And then my Sentinel moves up and blasts her, and she ends up alive at 1 health at the end of the round. He never flips the Guardian on the same side as Omega Sentinel. It never puts anyone over there. And so my Omega Sentinel ends up moving, flipping my Guardian, and then moving again, and attempts to flip his Guardian, but fails. And Man Thing is the only one over there with her. So turn 2, the Mark IV finishes off Black Cat, picks up her extract, and then moves to that side as well. And the 2 of them take out Man Thing very quickly and just have that side on lock. He, in the first turn, ends up using 1 blow to place backwards out of my threat ranges with Immortal Hulk, which we discussed at the end of the game was a mistake, because then he had to use an action and stuff the second turn to get back into where he could do some work with Hulk. And I don't make a single attack against Hulk the entire game. I'm mostly try to keep my models away from him as much as possible, and this works out quite well. Um, and I end up winning 19-11.
All right, well done, Brad. Okay, so my second round opponent was Better Brandon. Better Brandon is playing. Let me give a little bit of a rundown. There were some newer players who were playing in this tournament. My first round opponent, Brad's second round opponent, have not played very often, and there was another gentleman who had only played like 4 games before this event, and JP had an idea that those of us who have played a lot should play affiliation leaderships that were below 45% win rate, just to not step on people. Which, luckily enough for me, Maximus the Mad below 45%, or I think he's exactly 45%. He's down there, so I did not have to change anything. Or I should say, Better Brandon was playing Black Order and Dracula, like a combination of that list. I was terrified to go into Black Order because a lot of the secures that I brought are close and fighty, and I don't win that fight. There's no way. Like, Black Order will just eat my lunch. So I'm sitting here worried. One of my new additions to the roster is Namor, and so I threw Namor in just so that I would have someone who could go into Corvus Glaive and attack him normally instead of reducing damage by 1. Better Brandon played Thralls of Dracula in this matchup, so I was initially slapping myself on the forehead. We were playing on experimental soldiers and assault ships. So this is going, and we were at 19 threat. At 19 threat, I was playing Namor, Maximus the Mad, Medusa, Karnak, and Gorgon. And he had Dracula, he had Blade, he had Hela, which was an interesting choice. He had Drax and Baron Zemo. This game was another case where I was rolling absolute fire, and I rolled absolutely great on my left side defensively and absolutely great on my right side offensively. On my left side, it turned out to be Maximus the Mad and Gorgon and Namor versus Dracula, Blade, and Baron Zemo. And on my right, it was Hela and Drax versus Medusa and Karnak. Medusa and Karnak devoured Hela and Drax. Medusa was incredible this game. I think she did as good as Medusa ever does. I ended up dazing Hela round 2 and KOing Hela before any other model on the table was dazed. And that's relevant because Hela did not get a captured soul token and could not revive herself. So I KO'd Hela before another model was dazed, just because of how well I was rolling offensively with Medusa. With Medusa, if you get a crit and a wild on her builder, you get to attack again, and I was getting that pretty frequently, so that'll do it. Dracula, I kept staggered using Namor. Namor kept staggering him and kept I stagger him, and then he did the swing back and I put it into Gorgon, and then I pushed him away using my spender. Namor is great. I mean, this is not news to anybody. Namor's amazing. I should have been playing him way more frequently than I have been. But because the dice were so swung in my favor in this game, I pull out a win, and I win this game 17-9 against Dracula. Better Brandon is a hell of a player. I think everyone here has played against him
knows that he knows what he's doing, and this felt very good for me that I was able to pull out a win here. All right, Brad, why don't you tell us about round 3?
Round 3, I played Memphis, who literally was looking forward to playing my game, playing a game against me. Every tournament we go to, he's like, I hope I play Fred, or I hope I play Brad. And I do not understand.
Nothing quite like traveling to play locals.
Yes, I don't understand his mentality, but he always wants to play us at the tournaments. Well, he got his wish.
I can explain it. It's because it pisses you off. That's why.
And he brought to this tournament, he was going to play, he was like, I'm going to play a bad list like you and Fred. And we finally convinced him that he should play something good, so he had a chance of, winning more games. And so he played First Avenger with Gambit and Cyclops splashes. He's got Shang-Chi in his list. He played a good list. And we played 20 Threat, which he had played all day. Safe Shelter and Unexpected Guests. And he complained about the Bastion leadership the entire game. Because I guess somehow he had avoided playing against me with Bastion for 2 months now that I've been playing it, which is crazy. This is the first time he's played against Bastion, so he did not know what to expect. And I knew how to handle Gambit. I knew how to handle Shang-Chi. He had never played this list before the tournament. I think he's going to continue playing it for a while, though. He liked it, and it's good. This is the first game I have ever played, Rescue. And the first turn, a Sentinel Mark IV takes 6 damage from an attack Memphis threw into him with somebody. I don't even remember who. Oh, it was Cyclops. Cyclops just rolled 6 damage up on my Sentinel. Rescue puts a damage on Shang-Chi from just outside of range 3 and heals my Sentinel 2, and then I go ahead and patch him up the other 4 so he's full health, because it felt like resetting the Sentinel was a good idea at this point. And that is the only hits she rolled on any attacks the whole game. She did damage consistently every round, rolling crits and wilds. No hits. I do not get to heal a Sentinel, heal anyone on my team the rest of the game except for one medevac.
Jeez.
Yeah. So she didn't do the job I brought her for. She did help with Shang-Chi, though. With 7 die energy attack pools, even counting blanks, the 2 Mark IVs I had were very consistently putting damage into Shang-Chi so he can't throw them. And usually 1, meaning he got no power. So he was handled pretty well. Every time the Sentinels rolled into Cyclops, they one-tapped him, because he's a mutant. And then, so they were fighting over 1 shelter. All this was over 1 shelter. On the other side, he had Iron Man on 1 shelter the whole game, got to do it, got to just sit there. He flips Nimrod at one point, and decides that he's going to play Helios Laser into Bastion, who is on his healthy side. And so I roll dice, Bastion goes down. of course, because it was like a 20 die Helios laser. And then I tell him that that was a mistake. He should have killed Nimrod. And then Nimrod's a pain in the butt for the rest of the game, but does eventually die. But at this point, because the other side has gone so well and Nimrod and Bastion got to sit there long enough, I have a points advantage. Quite a large one. And I get 4 points on round 4, which is just enough to get me to 16 to his 8. So honestly, had we gone into the next round, like if I'm short, if I get stuck like at 12 and we go into another round, it is possible I lose this game eventually. But I had enough points that even if he kept me from winning at like 14 or 15, I would have squeaked by with the win the next round. But it was starting to go very bad for me. Luckily, Shang-Chi was dead, but he had like his entire rest of the list.
Right. I mean, he's playing First Avenger, who is an attrition monster with Gambit.
Yes. I did kill Gambit. That's right. I did kill Gambit as well.
Okay. All right. Well, congratulations on your win, Brad. My last opponent was JP. Both he and I are the only undefeated players at this point. So JP is playing Asgard with Loki's leadership, along with the Warriors 3, relevant. And I'm playing, obviously, Maximus the Mad with King Blackbolt and a smattering of other people. We were playing on Wedding Party and Unexpected Guests. Oh, one of the people I brought in this was Ronan the Accuser, and JP brought 6th Threat Thor. And my plan for this game was to deliver Ronan the Accuser into 6th Threat Thor and to give him judgment as soon as possible. A plan that succeeded. So this is Wedding Party, so it splits into 2 sides. And I end up Terragenesising successfully in very early in this game. I think in the top of round 2, I Terragenesis and get a little bit of a points advantage. We pound on each other quite a bit. On the side that Thor and Ronan the Accuser are on, I am not doing much. Thor is obviously kicking my butt. Even 6th Threat Thor after the nerf still does work. But on the other side, King Blackbolt is cleaning house. King Blackbolt dazes both the Warriors 3 and another model who I'm blanking on right now. And I end up getting a rather large point advantage at this point. I get up to, I think I'm 5 or 6 points ahead of JP at the end of round 3. But at that point, the attrition starts to swing back in his favor. I did not get enough points soon enough to be able to win out. And Loki is a monster. The oh my, what a pity ability, he was doing it all the time. I was rolling into skulls pretty frequently, and it really hurts. It's real bad. That ends up being a lot of damage across the course of the game. Also, I should point out, we forgot to move the wedding parties for I think the entire game. We forgot to do it, and that benefited me. We should have done it, and it would have benefited JP because he wanted them closer and closer together so that 6th Threat Thor could threaten the other blob. But we just forgot. It slipped our minds. But even without that, he was able to. The attrition caught up to me. He was able to pull out the win. He won this game 19-13 because in the last round, I think he scored every point on the table because he had dazed my entire force. So, oh well, that happens. Yeah, I end up coming in second in this tournament, second to JP, and Brad comes in third place. And that was the Parisburg tournament. It was a lot of fun. After the tournament, we went and got barbecue at a little hole in the wall in Princeton, and it was delicious. It was very good barbecue.
Lunch was also good at the place right across the street from the store.
Yeah, yeah. This ended up being just us eating at small local restaurants, much to our delight. It was great.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it for that tournament, and those are the games that we've played recently. And we are way long in this episode, so I think that we should hop right on over and start talking about Hawkeye. Hawkeye, otherwise known as Clinton Barton. Is it really both tons? Clinton
Yeah.
Barton. That sucks. His defensive stats are 4 physical, 2 energy, and 2 mystic. He has 5 stamina on the front and 6 stamina on the back of his card. That's interesting. He has a threat value of 3. He's a size 2, and he's a medium mover. He is on a small base, and he is affiliated with the Avengers, Defenders, and Shield affiliations. Hey, Brad. Oh, boy. Hold on. How am I going to break this up? Hey, Brad, why don't you do his attack?
He has a single attack. It is physical, but you can choose to make it energy if you'd like. It's called Arrow Shot. It's range 5. It's 5 dice. It costs 0. Gain power equal to damage dealt. And Wild Full Quiver. After the attack is resolved, the defender gains one of the following special conditions. Note, it is just 1, not 1 per wild. Bleed, poison, shock, or slow.
All right. Hey, Tom, why don't you read that next superpower?
You got it. Hook Arrow is an active superpower costing 2. Place this character in 3 of its current position. This can be used once per turn.
All right, Chance, why don't you read that next superpower?
Trick Shot. Cost 1. The next arrow shot attack this character makes ignores line of sight, and the defender does not benefit from cover. Note, it does not say this turn.
And Steven, why don't you finish the card?
That would be a reactive called Fast Draw. Will cost you 1 power when this character is targeted by an attack. If the attacker is not within 3 of this character may use this superpower. This character immediately makes an arrow shot attack targeting the attacking character.
And that is the entirety of his character card. So what do we think about this? What do you think about this, Tom?
I love Hawkeye. I think he is a model that in the current environment has so much good stuff he can do to help you score out a game and help prevent damage on your team via shock.
Okay. Yeah, he is a shock machine. He also ends up generating a lot of power and not spending it. That's kind of...
Yeah, I mean, we can go into more strategery with him. I don't know if you want to do that before doing overviews with everybody, but he's got a lot of really cool homes.
Yeah. Let me let everyone have a bite at this apple, and then we'll go into the strategy. Chance, what do you think about Hawk?
Hawkeye's great. I don't know what you want. He's range 5, no line of sight, no cover, 5 die attack. That's already pretty good. And then having, I would say, 4 relevant conditions. He's just good. I mean, he doesn't spend his power well, but who cares?
Steven, what do you think about Hawkeye?
Well, all depends on where you run him. I mean, I ran him in Salmon this past tournament, and he was an ultimate fail. But that's MCP.
Yeah. And Brad, what do you think about this?
Hawkeye's an interesting one because he was not getting played, and then what did they just give him 1 health on the back?
Well, no, they gave him 1 health on each side and they also lowered the
Oh.
cost of quick draw.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It used to be 2.
Yes.
Okay, well, he could have afforded it anyway. But, all right, he got 2 health.
He sure could.
He got 2 health, and now he is everywhere. And I think that's twofold. Why he was not played, I mean, the health hurt, but ultimately he was boring. He is still boring, but now he has the health, and I think the hook arrow with the source extracts and him having tons of power with the source extracts has really brought him back into the game in a big way. I think that is my theory. I think he looks very boring to play, but I understand why people would play him.
Right. Chance. What is your strategy for Hawkeye? Like, why is Hawkeye someone that you would turn to pick up?
I mean, so it's kind of like what Brad said. He always has power to do shit, which is just nice for someone. Range 3 place is a far distance. So range 3 plus range 1 plus 5 to like range 5. God, he double taps like half the board. He's just all over the place, and he's just useful. Like a 3 threat with that much condition potential is also something not to sneeze at. He just does a lot of stuff really well, and now he doesn't fall over and die anymore, and that's just nice. Also, weirdly, like it comes up occasionally on some pay to flips. He has 4 physical, so he's pretty good at flipping some of those. Like he's good on Mutant Madman because I don't know, he can rotate the board fairly well with Hook Arrow, and he's good at flipping them. And he just does good work.
Absolutely. Tom, what are the affiliations where you would want to grab Clinton Barton?
So I think the resurgence of Hawkeye started when people, after the health buff, people were like, wait, I can put him in double bubble shield, and he's going to be double tapping with 5 reroll 2, including skulls, or rerolling skulls, and shocking my opponent. And I think the real value Hawkeye found was shock has never been better in the meta than I think right now. There are a lot of models that are playing dice quality games, which is why the relative kill power is so high. I mean, if you start knocking these 5 and 6 attack die models that are 5 threat down to 4 or 5 down from where they were, like it really starts adding up on the table. And Hawkeye's that weird dude who everyone else that in that range band is like throwing at range 4. He's at range 5 and can counter shoot them prior to them shooting him at over range 3, right? So he can shoot them if they shoot him, shock them potentially in that context, and then have a shot go into him that is less damaging, right?
Uh-huh.
When you start doing the math on this in some other affiliations, well, what if he was also hexing them in defenders? Well, now you've got a shocked hexed model that has already declared its attack into him. He has become kind of an all-purpose tool to stay on back lines and just mess with stuff, because you know who he really doesn't like? Shang-Chi. Everyone didn't like Shang-Chi, and if you needed a counter for him at the time, there was really no one that did it better than him for his threat value. Putting those conditions on Shang and just keeping him honest, because you're outside of his Count Blank's range band, it just has done a ton for him. So in terms of affiliations, I think he just instantly goes into, you've got stuff like, again, Shield loves him. Their ability to utilize his power to spend on things like battlefield medicine, which, you know, he has no problems paying for that at any time in the game. Defenders under Strange loves him because, again, he's putting a ranged hex out along with other conditions. It's a shock. I think he's really cool in Sentinels. Brad, I don't know if you've tried him out yet in Bastion, but, you know, all of a sudden just putting out those shocks and conditions is really useful. He's
God.
I
It's
have
so
not
messed
played.
up.
I have not
Do
played
2
him,
damage
but I
to
am
someone,
familiar.
they don't get any power. They get poisoned.
Yep.
Stop it. Stop telling them these things.
Your roster's immune to poison. You're fine.
Oh, you're right.
Well, it's just he's one of those models that again I've been a big fan of his. My wife loves him from the comics and the animated series, not so much the movies. So I've played against him a ton. We've slipped into a lot of lists. Um, I just think that in the current crises, there's not that many range 5 attackers in the game still. What do you have? Hawkeye, Shuri, Rocket,
Yondu.
Lady Mastermind's thing, right? Yondu. There's just not very many of them. And for his threat value, he's probably the most mobile of those. And he's putting down those relevant conditions like across the board. Like he's just a good guy, good model to have.
He's solid. He's solid, is what he is. Steven, do you have anything you want to add?
No, I mean, these guys have covered most of it. I mean, there's not much to cover.
Right. Yeah,
Accurate.
he is very little on his
right?
part.
Like,
I mean, I played him in Steve 3 in one of the games, and he shined through pretty good. So, I mean, but yeah, range 5 is nothing to joke at. However, I like his build because there are counters to him, such as he hates Cassandra Nova. He hates Moon Knight because he cannot use his fast draw against them. So there are counters. Now those counters aren't often played, but still, I like how the game design actually builds that into the bones of the game. So.
Yeah,
I mean, genuinely, his biggest counter is you walk up and punch him in the face.
Yeah,
I know, but if you're doing it from range, is what I'm saying. So.
All right. Well, he does have a tactics card that we should talk about. It is called Professionals. It is an unaffiliated active tactics card. Natasha Romanoff and Clinton Barton may spend 2 power each to play this card. If Clinton Barton damages a character with an attack this round, and Natasha Romanoff is within range 2 of the damaged character, you may move 1 extract objective token from the damaged character to Natasha Romanoff. She is now holding that token. This card does not allow a character to hold more tokens than the crisis specifies. So it's a steel card, and it's a pretty good one. I mean, steel cards are good to have.
No.
Oh, is this bad? So I mean, it spreads the cost between 2 characters is kind of how I feel about it.
So the worst thing about this card is the timing.
Yep.
Like it's a solid enough card in theory. Neither one of those models, maybe Widow 4 threat, she doesn't want to pay for it, but every Widow and most Hawkeyes have money to spend.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
But having to get Widow in position and then have Hawkeye do the damage it takes a lot of effort.
Yep.
And that effort
it requires 2 activations. 2 models have to be in the right place at the right time. Yeah. Okay.
And a tactics card.
If the timing of this card was after you have dealt damage, you may play this card. Boom, I'd play it.
Oh, I see.
Having you call your shot on a 5-die attack is not where you want to be.
Yeah, you can make the attack and do no damage, and suddenly you're out of tactics card.
Yep.
I see. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
if it was, again, if that timing step was different, I'd be in.
Right. How old is this card? Is this card...
It came out with Hawkeye.
Let's say it came out with Hawkeye.
So, very old. So, I feel like if this card came out today, the timing would be different.
I mean, it would be a Quicksilver steel card.
Right.
It would be 2 different models, but I mean, it would be a useful at least card at that point.
Yeah. Brad, what do you think about? What do you think about this?
I mean, they hit the nail on the head. It's the timing. Otherwise, it would be fine.
Yeah. Steven, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, you forgot his other tactic card, by the way.
Oh, he has another tactics card?
Correct,
what is
yes. Helios laser bombardment.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, fair. You're right. He is an excellent model to have in your roster when you're trying to do a Helios laser because he has a bunch of power he does not need. That is a great use for him.
No, but
they're right. The timing on this is just awkward.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we need to give a letter grade to Clinton Barton here. I think so. I've seen him on this. I've never played him myself, but I have seen him played against me. People, I played against Dawn, and Dawn brought him as a counter to Shang-Chi, and he's a counter to Shang-Chi, and Shang-Chi is one of the best 4-threat models in the game right now. So it is a very useful tool to have. He has an interesting skill set. He's very mobile for a 3-threat with a range 5 attack that can be both energy or physical. He's a good model. I think that he can even get splashed in places just for being such a 3-threat toolkit. I'm gonna give him a B plus because there are limitations to what he can get done on the table, but he is very useful. B plus. Brad, what are you gonna give to Clinton Barton?
Longtime listeners know that I love to tell Fred that he's wrong, and this is a great opportunity to do so. Shang-Chi isn't one of the best 4th threats in the game. He is the best 4th threat in the game.
I mean, Bill exists. Bill exists.
I think he's better than Bill, but that's his closest competition.
I'd have to.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
Well,
wholeheartedly.
that's fine. We all have our opinions. Some people's are wrong, and mine might be in this case. I'm fine with that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They're both top end.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I Chance hinted at this earlier, and I just want to make sure it's explicit. But you can trick shot at the end of Hawkeye's activation to gain the benefit on his first fast draw attack outside of his activation.
Huh. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's weird because like most of the things like that, there's some sort of indicator or token. You just got to remember.
Yeah. And that's cool.
But how will you ever have power to support that? Oh wait, point. You're Hawkeye.
Yes. I think he was a bad model that they made literally the smallest possible change to and is now a good model. Fred's B plus sounds great, actually.
This is the kind of thing that we're going to see models become playable just by getting a buff to health. And that's going to make July very interesting when a bunch of models are getting a buff. All right, Tom, what are you going to give to Hawkeye here?
Yeah, I think he's a solid role player. I think you can bring him in to lists that need a Shang-Chi counter or just need something to operate on your back line. And a lot of the times I don't think 2 threats are very effective currently in the game. So I actually think it's a solid B. I would say that there is the change coming in the meta where people are going to need to look at more characters that cause a variety of status effects. If the gameplay gets to the point with the changes where everyone has more stamina, well, that means that individual status effects will be on models longer and make them less efficient over time to a larger degree than they do now. And I think Hawkeye is a great model because he's got access to 4 separate status effects on his own card, and then can be splashed in like defenders, as we said, to get another one active. There's just a lot going on with the model.
Absolutely. You said B. Is that where you put him? Okay. Steven, where are you going to put Hawkeye?
Yeah, I'm putting him in a B. I mean, he's useful. He's not. You're not sad that you take him unless he just rolls blanks and skulls. So.
All right. And Chance, where are you going to give to this guy?
I'm gonna put him in A tier. I mean, he does real well on the current crisis packet with sources being a thing. You want a model that has access to power. He is, as far as threat value, I was just checking, there is no one else that does range 5 energy attacks that's not besides Shuri, and she only ever does the 1 damage.
So as far as like that range 5 plinker, no one else does what he does.
This is Rocket Erasure.
I said at his threat value. I just want that to be clear. And he is way more mobile than Rocket and most other models in that category. Like, just for if you need a cheap long range workhorse, he's your go-to right now. So I think he's A.
All right. Okay, so that's it. That's our take on Hawkeye. Hey, Brad.
Before Brad goes, I have a question for Brad, since he's the comic expert. Brad, did you add what's missing on Hawkeye on your model?
Add what's missing on? Oh, did I add a hearing aid? No.
Yes, that was my question, because I did.
Oh, that's cool. No, I left it as is. But it's always interesting when they give these like super powered people, especially the ones that are just skill, like Hawkeye, some sort of handicap, like just something that holds them back. And Hawkeye can't hear very well.
Yeah, he's hearing impaired.
He is. He makes up for it in sight, but and I do like that they did port that over to the MCU. I know a lot of people did not watch the Hawkeye TV series, which was excellent, and it is a major thing that recurs in that TV show. So,
all right. Well, I genuinely did not know that he was hearing impaired in the comics.
Yep. And now the MCU.
And now the MCU.
Yeah.
Well, Brad, do you have any comic book recommendations that feature this guy?
I do. And speaking of the excellent Hawkeye TV series, it is based on a comic called Hawkeye from 2012 by Matt Fraction and David Aja. That's AJA. Aja. And this is the definitive Hawkeye comic.
It's so good.
It's 22 issues, an annual, and I think there's a crossover issue in there with a different comic. He's trying to take some time to himself. He gets in a new apartment. He meets the neighbors, and the neighborhood is being threatened by some tracksuit wearing Eastern European thugs that say bro a lot. And plus Kate Bishop's in this comic, and I like Kate Bishop a lot more than Clint Barton, Hawkeye. So, two thumbs up.
I'm a big fan of this series. It's a great read. When as he's saving the building and everything, you have the dude at the barbecue that just keeps calling him, "Hey, Hawkguy."
Yes, I love calling him Hawkguy. This is an award-winning series. It is legitimately very good.
It's also really pretty. It's got a really good style to it.
Oh, it's so good. So good. The graphic design, the art, all of it, top notch. The second comic I have is called Hawkeye Freefall. Matthew Rosenberg, Kim Jacinto, and Otto Schmidt. Someone is wearing the Ronin suit, and everyone thinks it's Clint. But Clint is off dealing with his own problems. He's starting to think that he might have to go back to his old criminal ways to get the situation he finds himself in taken care of. And the new Ronin is circling ever closer to Hawkeye's orbit. And of course, there's a big standoff and all that. Fred, did you know that Hawkeye started as a villain?
I did not know that.
I knew you didn't. He was a villain in some comics, and then he reforms and joins the Avengers, and the public throws a fit.
What was it called? The Carnival of Crime or something?
He was part of the Carnival of Crime.
Yeah.
with their
The
leader.
carnival of crime.
Who is the leader of the carnival of crime, Fred?
Oh,
Is it Hawkeye? Hold
Nope.
on. Is this a trick? Like,
Nope, it's not
okay.
Hawkeye.
Is
Who-
it Ronan?
who
Is that
leads?
the trick you're trying to do?
Who leads a carnival?
Oh, who leads a carnival?
Or is it the circus of crime? There's
Maybe
two.
it's a circus.
Okay, it might be there is a carnival of crime and a circus of crime, and I'm thinking of the circus of crime.
Okay. Is there a ringmaster?
Yeah,
Yep,
Who's the
Yep.
ringmaster?
yep, that's it.
that's his
Is
name.
that, wait, is that
that's
the
his name.
answer?
Yep,
Yes.
that's
Oh,
it.
okay.
That's
I was
correct.
trying to think of a character who's called Ringmaster. Oh, I guess that's his name. All right.
Carnival of Crime is an old movie from the 1960s. We are thinking of the Circus of Crime, Tom.
Got it. They're the same thing in my brain.
Yeah. It is the ringmaster. He's the leader.
Carnival of Crime is better. It's alliterative, or yeah, it's not.
Yeah, but this is one of those times where something was literally older than these comics, and because normally when something seems like the comics have copied it, it is the other way around. But if that movie's from 1962, it is probably before the Circus of Crime shows up in the comics.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think they actually touch on this in the is it Earth's Mightiest Heroes, I believe, animated series, where like they start to try to like one of the maybe it's Black Widow tries to frame Hawkeye and like brings up his criminal past. They don't believe him.
Mm.
Great series. If anyone has not watched Earth's Mightiest Heroes, it's phenomenal.
You should if you want to know what AMG's doing because they are big fans of that TV series.
It's got the best Thor I've ever seen.
All right. Well, is that it, Brad?
That is it. I had two.
Okay. The only thing that's left is my non sequitur recommendation. So, Hawkeye was played by Jeremy Renner. I think I've already recommended people watch The Hurt Locker. I think I've already recommended people watch The Town. I may not have, but I'm going to talk about a movie that I watched recently that I want to talk about more than any other movie that I've watched recently. I've been getting into... So this is going to sound crazy. I've been getting into Czech movies from the 80s and 70s. And most of the reason why that is it makes you pay attention. If you're watching a movie in a different language, you have to pay attention the whole time. I can't look at my phone and get distracted. I have to be engaged with the movie or I'm not even going to be watching it. The movie that I'm talking about is the Mysterious Castle in the Carpathians is what it's called. This is a silly comedy. It is in the vein of Mel Brooks. When I was watching it, I kind of got vibes similar to the Naked Gun movies. It is very funny. It follows this opera singer who is trying to forget about his lady love who was kidnapped from the opera house where they both were singers. And he becomes convinced that she is in this abandoned castle near this town in the Carpathian Mountains. It is silly. It is funny. He keeps doing this thing where he'll just start singing and everything around him will break. He'll break all the glass everywhere. It is really a great movie. I highly recommend that people watch this. It's available on Tubi. You can just watch it whenever you want. It is stupid. Like, it's really stupid. But I think that sometimes that is Brad, it is very dumb compliment.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say. Yeah.
Should we take the opportunity to also put the PSA out to always remember to use your parking brake when operating heavy machinery?
What? I'm sorry.
Always engage the parking brake when you're operating heavy machinery. He had a very difficult accident in 2023.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, yeah,
Oh.
you're right. Yeah, Jeremy Renner was wounded very badly by a snowmobile, and yeah, you're correct. You should definitely not stand in front of the vehicle on a hill when it's not in park. That is what we should do. And on that note, I hope everyone out there has a wonderful time playing Marvel Crisis Protocol. I want to thank Tom and Chance both for joining us and talking about squad goals. Thank you, Brad, for running everything. And thank you, Steven, for joining us. And this has been a long episode, so goodbye. Have fun out there and have a wonderful rest of your week.
Man, I really wish there was an app where we could keep up with what Jeremy Renner was doing.